Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Okay, what's going on, everybody? Listen, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm outside and I'm sort of like by a water. Put a one. Can you all hear me? Can you put a one in the chat, please? Hello, Miss Gail, Keisha, Miss Vicky, Selena, Jackie. Can y'all hear me? Can you put a one in the chat if you can hear me? I guess y'all can hear me. I almost slipped. Oh, okay. I'm behind. All right. So my reporter was able to call me today on a couple of breaks and give me some information on what happened thus far this morning. Also, along with what I received from the St. Louis local news station reporter from her Twitter, Miss Justina. Now she started out, saying that um, they had resumed day 6 and that Tim was taking the stand. Now, we took a poll last night in last night's live, and honey, we decided Tim would not take the stand. But, you know, Lavelle told us Tim is a trained actor. So I have a feeling he is on that stand. I can't see him. Oh, how I wish I could be there. Mm-mm-mm. Boy, they didn't want me in St. Louis. Woo-wee. Baby, and they found the right way to stop me, didn't they? But he is on that stand, honey. He is putting on the performance of his life. Do you hear me? Of his lifetime, his acting career. Him acting on Sweetie Pie's has nothing on what he's doing today, baby. Let me tell you. So says he's currently on the stand. He was on trial and he's being accused of the mastermind behind the murder for Harper Drake. Now listen, there was reports out there that Tim had fired his attorneys. I retracted that because the reporter Justina or the other lady had not reported it. So my reporter, when she called me finally, she said that no, Tim, he tried to fire his attorneys. Okay, he tried to fire his attorneys, but they know him representing himself. That was sure enough probably be a mistrial. Anyway, I heard there was a long sidebar. The judge called them up, probably the prosecution as well as the defense attorneys. And then Michael Leonard told the judge his attorney, his client would like to withdraw that motion to fire his attorneys. So Tim did not fire his attorneys after all. And I sort of knew that because when you look at this lady's tweet that I posted, it says one of them, it says defense attorney asks Norman, let's get this out of the way. Did you do anything did you have anything to do with the murder of Drake? And Tim says no. So when it said defense attorney asked him that, I knew then that, well, his attorney can't be fired if he's asking him questions. So they I'm not going to say they didn't allow Tim to fire his attorneys. I guess his attorneys talked some sense into him, because if Tim wants to represent himself, there's been people that have done that in the past. So good thing they didn't let him. He's not representing himself. Then it says the ex Tim, did he have anything to do with Dre? And he said no. Then it comes up, there was another update from Justina. It says Norman is testifying that his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr., was present when the insurance agent was filling out the insurance application. He's also denying ever relaying a message to the alleged shooter, Travell, to take out Andre, to execute Andre. Now, this is when we need Wally, because I really would like to hear, although we have it in the text messages though, when Wally told Tim to pretend to be Dre on the phone. So there's already other evidence contradicting what Tim is on this what he's on the stand saying. I personally think my commentary opinion, Tim is up there lying. He's up there acting. He's performing. So she also said that Tim tried to there it is. Tim tried to fire his attorneys, called a sidebar. Tim would like to withdraw that. All right. But Tim told them on the stand that the reason he purchased those burner phones is because he was dating one Nitra at the time, living out in California, and he didn't trust Terica. He thought she might called in the midnight hour when she was drunk or something. And he was on a family show and he had a reputation to uphold and he wanted to be discreet. He didn't want everyone to know that he was dating, or messing around with this exotic dancer slash prostitute. And they had the burner phones because now, mind you, he had been dating or messing around with her since 2011. They got the burner phones in 2016. So he just decided. What about when he was with uh, what's her name? Janae. Did he not feel that they needed burner phones then? Now, this is the defense asking him questions. The prosecution is going to get a chance to cross-examine him. She already told me that she probably won't be able to stay for the cross-examination, so I probably won't have inside information on that other than what I'll get from the local news reporters. Because like I say, I don't go to other content creators channel and bite off of them. They work hard for their information, so I'm not going to go and get their information and then come back and just repeat it to you all. I'll stick to documents if I don't have the cross-examination information. But Tim testified under oath that he only purchased those burner phones because he was dating Juanitra, living in California with Juanitra. He had that woman, and he was on a family show. Okay, he was on a family show, and that he didn't want people to know that he was messing around with a stripper, aka hooker, and he didn't want Terica to get drunk in the midnight hour and call Juanitra. He said in case Terica would get drunk or something. Okay. Now, she did tell me that all of the Sweetie Pie's folk is there in the courtroom today. Baby, it's packed. Troy's was running a little late, but the family is in full. People that you saw on the Sweetie Pie show, they are in there. So all the people that are involved in the case are all in the link of his affair. Does it make sense? Janae wouldn't have gone along with this BS. She had sense to move on. Well, that's why he got the burner phones, was so that he could hide his relationship from Juanitra, allegedly, his relationship with Terica. So, but my thing is, he had been messing around with Terica since 2011. Okay, since 2011, and he was with Janae because that baby, little Timmy, was born. He was born after 2011, I do believe. Now I'd have to confirm that to be sure. So he's performing. Tim is he's performing right now. He thinks he's in a scene of Sweetie Pie's show. He is performing. Okay, now what he's gonna do, he's gonna piss. And I asked her how the jury was looking. The jury is paying close attention. She said the judge is becoming frustrated with Tim's attorney because he keeps asking the same question, and the judge is getting a little agitated with him. So yeah, let me see what else she said. All of the Sweetie Pies is in there. Was later family, all of Sweetie Pie's family is in there represented today from the show. And the attorneys were questioning Tim. So that's when I started asking her about Tim's attorneys, because I'm like, well, who's asking him questions now if he allegedly fired his attorneys? But I thought that I know he's gone through several attorneys, but he did not fire Michael Leonard. He tried to, guys. He did try to get rid of Michael Leonard today and represent himself, but they were able to work it out. So to recap on that, Tim's reason for buying those burner phones is because he was cheating and he didn't want Juanitra to find out, the woman he was dating in California. Now, it says Tim said, now, the reason Travell was at the scene of the crime, according to Tim, is because Dre knew Travell from when they were little kids. You know, these were the neighborhood boys. And he wanted Travell to talk to Dre to try and get the money back because he was a neighborhood kid friend. And that Tim said that him and Bruce and Big Ed would take the neighborhood kids to Six Flags, and that Tim said he was coming back and forth from California to St. Louis a lot. It's because he wanted the kids to know that you could be successful like him by frying chicken, and you didn't have to necessarily be a rap star or basketball player. I'm sorry, but this is what she told me, y'all. Tim is up there straight up shooting some BS. Okay, he's shooting some BS. Oh my goodness. What y'all say? Is the producer producing this storyline? Travell said he didn't know Andre. That's what I'm saying. Travell said he didn't know Andre. That's why in Travell's plea agreement, Travell said he stopped. He wasn't sure that was him, so he stopped Andre and said, do you have some marijuana? So he could get a look at Andre to see if that really was Andre. Now Tim is saying that Travell was at the scene of the crime because he knew Dre from when they were kids, and that Tim, Bruce, and Big Ed would take them to Six Flags when they were little and try to, help the neighborhood kids. And he was coming back and forth to and fro from Cali to St. Louis because he wanted them to know you could fry chicken and be rich and famous and not have to set your nephew up to lose his life and be executed for $450,000 life insurance policy, allegedly. Okay. He said he didn't know Travell was gonna K Dre. He didn't know Travell was gonna do that. Now he didn't know that. I know he gave him $5,000. He left that $5,000 for DJ Beats to give to him, but he didn't know Travell was going to do that. Then Tim started crying. He went into that cry like he did when he was talking about his cousin, Monique's brother, losing his life. Remember on the show when they were talking about when he took Miss Robbie back to the scene of the crime, and he said he hadn't been back on Natural Bridge, and he had been I think it was his cousin's name. What was his cousin's name? Aaron. And Tim broke out into that. The tears started rolling. Well, he started crying on the stand today. Yes, he shedded some tears for the jury. And he said he was just telling the kids that you could get out of the hood by frying chicken. This is not funny. This is very serious, but I could just see him up there. Tim is despicable. I don't have any words. I just don't believe him. I'm sorry. Now, this is my opinion. Okay, it's my opinion because you got 3 people who have confessed, and then you have more people, unindicted people who have testified, like Chris and DJ Beats and stuff. No, Tim. And the jury, he's going to piss the jury off because he's playing with their intelligence. He said also, after Travell took Dre's life, the reason Terica called him and said, I hear some shooting. And he said, that's when he told her just said they shooting. He said she said they're shooting across the park. And he said, okay, leave. No, you know why she was calling you. You knew why she was calling you. They didn't know anything about the past. Hold on. Jury. I'm trying to find the rest of my notes here because she was talking fast. They was on a little lunch break. They're gonna get ready to go back in. This is just part of it, honey. There's still the cross-examination to come, so I may not have that for you. And this isn't going to be all of the information from what they've asked him today because I'm sure she wasn't able to give me everything. But we have this, and it is what it is. You guys can get the rest from wherever you can get it from because it is all good. But him saying that he didn't know Travell was gonna take his life, and and he's feeling like he didn't pass any money to nobody, so he's thinking that's going to save him. He started crying, y'all. He started crying. Let me see what y'all saying up here. He's a narcissist. So what did he say about the $5,000? She didn't tell me anything about the $5,000. I don't know if they had already gotten to that or what, but I know the prosecution is going to ask him about it. I wish I could have those notes. Oh my goodness. But if I don't, we'll get it one day. We'll know what was said word for word. But the prosecution will get a chance, and I'm sure it'll happen today, to cross-examine him. But for now, he did not fire his attorneys. He attempted to fire his attorneys, but they had a long sidebar, and then Tim's attorney told the judge he would like to withdraw that motion. He does not want to fire. Yes, he's a good actor. He wrote the script. He wrote the original script to get Sweetie Pies, and then after that, He was a producer on there. He was writing scripts along with the other producers. So Tim knows how to act. And we were told by Lavelle on a show that Tim took up acting classes while in prison. He had a long time there. Oh, another thing, the jury knows nothing about Tim's past. They don't know about him being arrested or anything. And she was also saying that a lot of them really, didn't even know about the show. And so they don't know about Tim. They don't know that he's already held someone at gunpoint and had someone as a hostage and has robbed McDonald's on a bicycle and spent 10 and a half years in prison. They know nothing about his checkered past. You can't, the prosecution hasn't found a way to introduce that into evidence. So for right now, they don't know about it. And I don't know how they're going to get it in. But a good prosecutor can figure out a way. But I still think some of those people know. Now but when you're being voudoired as a juror to become a juror, you really want to and you really want them to pick you. You will, I'm sorry to say, you will answer questions in a way that you can be selected as a juror. So I'm going to go on record and say that some of these people know about this show. If Miss Robbie is as big as they say she was in the St. Louis area, and she sang with Ike and Tina Turner for all those years, and Dr. John and all of that, these people know about this show. And Sweetie Pies was a very popular show, okay? And that restaurant was popping back then. So I think some of these jurors do know. Now, they may not know about every freaking incident, like we read off all of his prior offenses last night on last night's show. You can go back to last night's live and check that out. And also, guys, I'm also posting things daily on Twitter. If you have Twitter, go follow me at Eat with Phylly Phil on Twitter. You can get all of the hottest, latest information on this case from me on Twitter as well. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I have for now. Tim says he bought the cell phones. Recap: he bought those burner phones for him and Terica because he was having an affair with a stripper, exotic dancer. He didn't want his woman in California to know about that. He wanted to be discreet. He was on a family show and he had a reputation to uphold. That's why they had the burner phones. Now, what about all the time you was with Janae and you was messing with Terica? I guess that doesn't matter. I mean, Andre didn't lose his life during that time, so okay. Yeah, he thinks the jury is crazy, but they're not. And Travell was at the crime scene. Oh, Tim was at the crime scene. His attorney asked him, "Did you have on a mask or were you trying to hide yourself?" He said no, he wasn't trying to hide himself, and he was only at the crime scene because he always went around in the hood area to talk to the neighborhood boys and to try and get them to do right and not become a ex-criminal like him where you want to set your nephew up and have him executed, okay? So yes, Tim was at the crime scene, but he was there to try and talk to the people to get them to live a good life. All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here. That's all I have for you. I hope I can get more. If not, we'll make it do what it do. But that is the latest that I have. You can also continue, like I say, check out my community tab. I'll post when I can. And check out my Twitter. Yes, Tim bought those burner phones for him and Terica so Juanitra wouldn't find out he was cheating. Juanitra, I know you're watching this. I really would love to interview you and know what you think. All right, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'll talk to y'all later.